Bay of Naples was the backdrop to stage 8 of the Giro d'Italia, a wonderful, interesting design of a course, taking place a day after a 7th stage that ended up with the first ever Grand Tour win for Koen Bouwman. He also took the leader's jersey in the King of the Mountains competition. But to Naples, 153 kilometres, the first visit from the Giro in 9 long years. Only 3 cities have ever been visited more, and they knew it was all going to be a very fast start. Riders on the turbo trainers, with Mathieu van der Poel one of the big favourites of the day. A mini World Championships, if you like, a World Championships without the distance. One long lap around outskirts of Naples before 4 shorter laps, taking in Bacoli and Monte di Procida before returning to the centre of Napoli for an expected finish between the favourites, who could either get it out in a breakaway or to see if the sprinters could hold on. It was standing start as well. Mechanical problems meant that by the time we got to kilometre 0 under the finish arch, everybody had to stop. The flag was waved, but the action came thick and fast. Mathieu van der Poel, one of the first attackers. Thomas de Gendt was trying to follow him, and soon a group of 21 riders would be up the road. It would take them 15 to 20 kilometres to consolidate that advantage. Quite a few teams had several riders in the break. Lotto Soudal with 3 members. But one of the components of the breakaway would be Guillaume Martin. At 4 minutes and 6 seconds from the GC lead of Juan Pedro Lopez, it meant that his team Trek Segafredo would have to control things. At the front, the intermediate sprint brought 12 points in the Maglia Ciclamino competition for Biniam Girmay. Girmay, one of the pre-stage favourites, along with Mathieu van der Poel. And it would be van der Poel who launched things with 46 k's to go. On the final lap of the circuit, attacking on one of the climbs and taking away a small group. Most of the original breakaway would come back. A few finding they didn't have any legs, and then another move went. Davide Gabburro off the front, Jorge Arcas chasing, and then 2 riders from Lotto Soudal, along with one from Dronoper and Droni Giocattoli. That one would be Simone Ravanelli. He'd be the first to be distanced when Thomas de Gendt and Harm Verhoeven went to the front. Mauro Schmidt behind will launch another group. Wout Poels, Biniam Girmay, Guillaume Martin and Mathieu van der Poel would be in the chase, but they were over half a minute down with 26 kilometres remaining. That gap seesawed. It went up and down, yo-yoing along, with the front quartet still managing to keep a gap inside the last 10 k's. With 7.5 k's to go, there was action from the peloton too. Leonard Kemner, 38 seconds behind in second place, hoping to take the pink jersey, but the pink jersey was having none of it. Juan P. Lopez defending and sticking like glue to his wheel. The gap was 20 seconds with 6.5 k's to go, and Van der Poel and Girmay went away on the final descent, taking the gap down to 10 seconds in the final 2 kilometres. It will prove to be too little too late for them, however. Behind, they tightened up their shoes. They began to get ready for a 4-up sprint. It came to the final 250 metres, and with 200 to go, de Gendt launching after Verhoeven controlled for the final 3 or 4 k's. Gabburro behind him, but unable to get anywhere near. Jorge Arcas finished 3rd. Verhoeven 4th, cheering as Thomas de Gendt made it Thomas d'Italia, bookending a decade of brilliant breakaway wins. His first big win here at the Giro d'Italia in 2012 on the mighty Stelvio, down by the seaside in Naples. A decade later, de Gendt was once again a winner at the Giro. In between that moment, there had been stage wins at the Vuelta and the Tour. Win number 17 in the career of Thomas de Gendt. A very special one indeed, coming 3 years after his last Grand Tour stage win at the Tour de France. De Gendt, Gabburro, Arcas, Verhoeven, with Girmay winning the sprint for 5th, his 4th top 5 so far in the race. Guillaume Martin finishing at 33 seconds, and that was important with the peloton coming over at 3 minutes 33. 3 minutes back for the Frenchman in the GC. Juan P. Lopez held on to the pink jersey then. But Martin into the top 10 in 4th place at 106. He's in a great position in front of the rest of the GC favourites, led by Yates in 5th as they go to Blockhouse. A 38-second lead then for Juanpe Lopez to defend over Kemna, but he might be looking further back. The first 17 kilometres of the stage, ridiculously difficult. Then you add in Passo Lanciano and a climb to Blockhouse from the most difficult side. The first visit since Nairo Quintana won a few years ago. Possibly the hardest mountaintop finish of the whole Giro d'Italia. It's 191 kilometres for stage 9. Should be a blockbuster, the end of the first week proper, and the first big appointment in the mountains, with big moves expected in the general classification. The Giro d'Italia is live each and every day on GCN+, Discovery+, and Eurosport.